2012, maybe, I write a birthday letter for myself. This is a ritual that I started because I wanted to. And maybe hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of the UNSTUCK podcast. I'm Carolina, your host, and this episode has video. This means that you can watch and listen to me on YouTube. Or if you are more audio type, you can still listen to me on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So here we are. Here we are for the first time. I'm recording an episode at 5:45 p.m. This is not my usual time to record an episode, and it has everything to do with what I'm going to share with you. Every single year since, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I write a birthday letter for myself. And this letter is, let's say, a compound celebration and acknowledgement of all the accomplishments of that year. It's my present self remembering, taking note of all the things that I created, all the things that grew. And last year, for the first time, I transformed that letter into an episode. This was a year ago, back in the day. It almost feels like a different life. I recorded my birthday letter and I opened that to the world. This is the previous podcast, the one that is in Spanish, only Spanish, and the one that is there. The previous one, I'm not going to continue on that because it doesn't feel aligned anymore. So yeah, I did that episode called Vida, Vida, period. And vida means life in Spanish. So it was about my year, and I go through every month and how every month had a lot of gifts. Lessons equal gifts, blessings. And today is October 10th, and I'm 10 years. Oh my gosh, yeah, it feels like it. I'm 10 days apart from celebrating 1 year in America, and a few days from celebrating my birthday. Again, my birthday is November 16th. This all makes sense. Stay with me. So yeah, my birthday is coming, and the anniversary of me, this new life, it's also coming. So this is happening, and I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing the context because this last month, let's say, I been feeling stuck, completely stuck. And I don't want to be dramatic with it completely, but I want to be also vulnerable. And I feel stuck. And maybe, well, or not maybe, for sure, a part of that comes from my birthday that it's coming. So I was talking with one of my friends, one of my new friends of this new chapter of my life. She is a writer. Yeah, is that how you pronounce it? She writes books. And I was talking with her after a yoga class that I didn't want to take. I love yoga. It's just like my energy has been, I've been feeling drained. And I'm talking about this openly because maybe you needed to hear this. And before recording this episode, I set the intention of God, universe, source, let my words speak to their soul. Because, yeah, this is me, raw, authentic, vulnerable. So I didn't want to go to the yoga class, and because I knew that I didn't want to go, I went to the yoga class. Instead of taking two classes, the 10 and the 11 a.m. class, I just took the 11 a.m. class. I did my walking meditation, and now I'm really good for doing the things that I know the after will make sense, will feel amazing. So in the past, I was not as good, and I would have done it different. Not going to the yoga class and maybe doing something else, getting involved in shopping, for example, something to fill the void, or just like kind of put a band-aid, put a band-aid and covering the emotion, the discomfort that I was feeling. So this time I went to the yoga class, and then I saw my friend. I had time, so I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna go to the sauna for 30 minutes. I didn't have like a plan, and my friend kind of looked at me like, what are you gonna do? Just come with me and let's do some cardio. She knows I don't like cardio, and that's why I love her, because she pushes me. So we were on the treadmill, and since her work has a lot to do with creativity and my work has a lot to do with creativity, I was talking about how I felt. And I said, like, I'm in that void. I'm in that blank space, or at least I feel like it. And if I feel it, it's because my intuition knows I'm there, and I feel stuck. I feel that I'm pressuring everything. Like, I want to know right now in this precise moment what I need to do for my business to grow. My business was different in Mexico, and now it's a new business here, not because of the country, I would say, or not only because of that, but because of me, because it's a personal brand, because I've evolved so much. I'm a different version of myself. So I feel confused. Like, oh my gosh, like, what's the next step? Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm so lost. And my birthday is coming, and I feel like I don't have any accomplishments to share. I feel like I've been here for a year and I haven't grown. So what am I gonna share? And oh my gosh, that fucking hit me. Because then I was able to hear it out loud, to hear what I was saying, to hear the speech that I've been repeating to myself. And I'm gonna share a little bit about our conversation, because that conversation, or well, I'm not gonna share like the exact conversation, but I'm gonna share the aha moments that came through that conversation. And oh my gosh, my external validation, my validation was validation was completely external. And that made me think about, at some point in this journey of living in America, I said I lost my body. My body, if you were to ask me 6 months ago, I would have said my radiant body is gone, completely gone, because I didn't have any fat percentage, any. I was super, super skinny, muscles, lean, defined, let's say perfect, the stereotype of absolute perfection. So yeah, if you would have asked me 6 months ago, I would have said, yeah, I lost my body because of XYZ. That doesn't matter really, because I would have blamed whatever, the hormones, because of the food, because of the laundry detergents. And I mean, yeah, that has what's the word I'm looking for? That has an impact on our health. Yeah, and I do know that because I'm a health coach, and I am a health coach by IIN, that it's a very renowned, yeah, is that how you pronounce it? Like a really good, recognized, renowned, let's say that, yes, you pronounce it like that, institute. Deepak Chopra is involved, so it's like huge, important. The teachers are amazing, top of the top of the top. So I do have that information, but I would have blamed whatever, because I felt like the outside is the problem, not the inside. And oh my gosh, I teach that the outside is just a reflection of our inner state. So yeah, external validation. So now I can see it so very clearly, like, yeah, of course, this works for me, because I know that, you know, if you've been here for a while, I say this. And I know that I say this because one of my clients told me, if there's one thing that that stood in my mind about our one-on-one, if there's one thing that stood in my mind of the one-on-one program that I took with you, I got distracted. Can I talk? As Catherine Sinclair says, can I talk? There's one thing that I remember about us working together is that everything works for me. So I do teach that, like, everything works for you. And now I can see it. My validation, or I thought that my value was in my body. And I lived like that, I don't know, 30 years. Like, I thought that I was a valuable woman because of the way I look. Oh my gosh, this is the first time I'm saying it out loud. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for receiving this, for being a witness of my evolution. Yeah, so I thought that my only value was my body, the way I looked. So I put all my coins there for a relationship, for my work, for whatever. And when I decided, okay, I'm gonna go deeper into my spiritual path, and I did all these movements, and I decided, okay, I will live in America, la 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 la. No wonder why I didn't lose anything, but my body changed in ways that I didn't like, because they are not accepted. And I mean, I'm not talking about huge things. I'm just talking about, I saw cellulite in my legs and I didn't like it. I was like, oh, I didn't have this? Like, what is happening? What is wrong? I'm failing. And this is also the first time I'm saying it out loud and with a word. Yeah, I saw cellulite in my legs and I was like, oh my gosh, this cannot happen to me. I'm Mrs. Perfect. Come on, like, who didn't receive the memo? And it's so liberating to say it. No wonder why I lost the only thing that I thought made me valuable, my body. I decided, okay, I'm gonna go deeper. I really truly choose this spiritual path, awareness path, whatever you want to call it, divine path, whatever. Because that gave me, those were really, really intense moments. Because my self-image was compromised. Like, everything inside was breaking because I saw this, and it was so intense. I remember that I developed this habit of looking at my leg right after I use the bathroom to judge myself, just to see it. And I grab a light just to see it and to judge myself and to be in this speech. Obviously, I didn't do it consciously. I was in that loop until I was aware of what am I doing? What am I going to create if I continue this habit of judging and attacking myself, my body? What am I going to create? I'm going to create more of this if I continue this. So my validation was external. If you were to ask me 6 months ago, and I was talking with this friend, you know what, like, I know I've grown a lot. I know. And at the same time, I know that I cannot put that out there, because my evolution, what I've grown, it's not an image that I can post on Instagram, that I can share on social media. Like, I don't have the physical thing to say, this is how much I've grown spiritually. This is the metric of how my consciousness has evolved. I do not have it. And yeah, my birthday is coming. What am I gonna share? And my friend told me, you should talk about this. You should talk about exactly this moments of self-validation, internal validation, because I was following the external success metric, the society success metric, a metric that someone else created or a group of people created, and this is what it looks to be successful. I was following by the fucking book, and maybe I was one of the ones that created the book of this is the perfect body. I was following that. And this year, I've evolved so much that I'm no longer following those rules, and I do not have the image to share. Oh, this is my accomplishment of each month of this last year. It's about light. It's about light. I've been receiving light more every lesson, like the one I'm sharing with you about my body. And I mean, I have a body program in Spanish. That was one of my biggest programs. And this friend remind me, we're always challenged in our zone of genius. And it does make sense, because let's say I'm in this path of awareness, consciousness, spirituality. And obviously, because this is my zone of genius, I receive the lessons that will help me evolve. So I am challenged here, because this is my art. This is my gift to the world. And if I put it outside of me, to because I do this with myself. If I search for the logic, so I can create, reprogram my subconscious mind and create this harmony, to then create harmony with a new belief. For example, if I'm thinking I am unlovable, for example, if I identify, okay, I'm believing this, then I take it out and I ask myself, okay, is this 100% true? Is it always true? Do I have any proof of this not being true? Like, when this hasn't been true, what evidence do I have? Like, this cannot be the ultimate truth. So I do this with my mind. So let's say I will take it out of myself. If I was, or ballerina, a professional ballerina, gets challenged in that area to evolve her dance, her art, and I've been challenged in this, because this is my art. And I've been challenged to the point that I thought, okay, I'm gonna quit coaching. I'm gonna do something else, because this is so intense, and I won't do it because this gives me life. But I'm sharing it out loud because, yeah, I had those thoughts, And I remember that I asked one of my friends, also one of the friends that God sent me for this new chapter. She is really big in music, and I asked her, like, what would you say if someone was doubting about her art? And she said, you know how many times I thought about quitting music, and whenever I said it out loud to my friends, to the people that know me, to my community, they were like, are you nuts? No, music is your art. So yeah, I've received more light, and I see it as everything works for me. So I receive this color because I choose to set me free from the judgments of this is bad, this is good. So I receive this color, and this color, let's say this color is a bridge. So on the other side of the bridge, I will find me, I will find myself, but a different version of myself. Me more me, Carolina more Carolina, more authentic, more, I mean, lighter, clear. What's the word I'm looking for? Certain, enjoying. So everything is working for me. Every lesson, every color, every bridge that I've crossed. On the other side, I'm more powerful, more aware, more kind, more generous, more loving, more free, more radiant. And oh my gosh, like I do not have a picture. And that was giving me, I was giving myself a lot of stress and disappointment because yeah, my birthday is coming, and I didn't have anything to share on social media about my accomplishments. So this is this is what I wanted to share, because we talk about, my friend and I, the one that writes books, we talk about the underground, the invisible things. And if we are talking about a tree, something that's tangible, solid, I mean, everything's energy, and 99.99999% of everything is just space. But let's pretend that the tree is something solid, something that for sure you can take a picture and post on Instagram. Oh my gosh, it's just like I was in that trap. A tree, their roots are invisible to our physical eyes. Underground is growing, and we just planted, well, like 2 or 3 months ago, 5 trees. And I remember that Cray, my partner, told me it's really important for us to do it in this season, in this moment, because they need to grow, they need to expand their roots because winter is coming. So today I felt completely confused. Or, well, now I'm being dramatic. Confused. I felt confused. Like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with Carolina Sanper and maybe I'm gonna add this side business or this or this or this. How am I gonna connect everything? Like, I feel that stuckness. So what am I gonna do? And then my partner wasn't supposed to be at home, but he came back, and I started to cry, sharing, okay, this is the way I feel. I feel, and I remember saying 5%, 5%. I feel like not okay. What am I trying to say? Not 100%, but 5% of myself feels like a failure. Like what am I doing? And I said 5%, and now that I'm making the connection, of course 5% because that's my conscious mind judging me. The 95% of my subconscious mind is like, okay, girl, breathe, 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 because if you don't breathe, we're gonna take this as a threat and it's gonna be repelled. We're gonna just like exclude this from your reality because it's making us think that your life is being compromised. So okay, so I was feeling confused, but at the same time I had a lot of clarity because I was at the end of my journaling, like, okay, this and that. And we talk, and then I was, you know what, like, I need to share this. I need to share the way I feel. And the core message is celebrating stuckness, because this empty space is working for me. This empty space is the challenge, let's say. And no organism evolves without being challenged. Joe Dispenza shares this, and I'm really into Joe Dispenza. And yeah, I'm being challenged in my zone of genius, and because I'm evolving, this empty space is working for me. Everything's transforming, and what's required from me is to surrender. To surrender the expectation, the control, the micromanaging everything, is for me to say, okay, okay, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but at the same time, it requires from me to move, to walk, to choose to act aligned in an aligned way. So what I was not doing is I was not surrendering and I was not moving. I was like, okay, if I don't receive the information of what I need to do with my business right now, I'm not gonna surrender, because okay, come on, like, what's gonna happen? And two, I'm not gonna move because I'm confused. So I was doing that, and of course I was more stuck. It was even worse. So I'm sharing this because maybe you are feeling stuck, and that feeling stuck comes from, okay, everything's changing and I don't know what's gonna happen and I don't know what to do. Those are the two paths. And what's gonna happen, none of your business, because if you were to ask any successful person, and you are the one that's gonna define what successful means, no one knows how they arrived there. It was always a surprise. So no one knew. So the how it's gonna happen is not our job. It's not our job to define, decide, declare how the Amazon guy is gonna deliver you the package you order. Like, that's not our job. So if you're feeling stuck, the how is not your job, and what it is, or what is required from you, is for you to keep moving in alignment, doing the things that light you up. And for me, the things that light me up, the continuing the movement, is my meditation, my workouts, being here. Those three is me moving in alignment. I'm here. And Cray remind me something really, really powerful, because now I'm here, but I wasn't here. Like, I didn't make a move with my business, and this is the area I didn't make any move. I didn't make any move, but now I'm here. And Cray remind me something that I share when I'm talking about relationships, that love is about choosing. Like, is a choice. I choose to love you. I choose to walk with you. And in relationships, I have it so evolved. Like, yeah, the uncomfortable moments, I choose him and I have that connection. But I didn't have the connection with my business. Like, whenever it's fall, it's also a choice. It's also a choice to show up. And by that, I don't mean that I'm gonna pressure myself or I'm gonna act without alignment. I'm saying, if it's uncomfortable but it's in alignment, I will do it. Like the yoga class that I didn't want to go, and oh my gosh, the after feeling was amazing. So thank you, Carolina, for choosing it, for bringing us there that day, because also this conversation. So I was talking with Cray, and yeah, like, okay, choice, and whatever you water will grow. And he's really into plants, really, really. He thinks that he's not woo-woo, and I always joke about that with him, because I say, well, like, you are really woo-woo, because first of all, you're with me and I'm super, super woo-woo. So you love the woo-woo, and you have to be woo-woo to be with a woo-woo. So yeah, you are woo-woo. And second, you love plants. The other day I asked him, it's not about the land. What's the land gonna do without you? It's so much more about what would you do without this land, because he's really into plants, planting trees, the garden, and then cutting trees, the ones that require to be cut. And I don't know, now we're gonna plant this flower or this thing, and I'm gonna build this with wood and la la, and watering the plants, and it's just like his zone of genius. And I mean, I joke with him like, you are really, really woo-woo too, because of this. And yeah, whatever you water will grow. And that, I made the connection with Amanda Francis, that shares, if you stop working it, it won't work. So I was like, yeah, of course. So maybe the stuckness can only exist if you are not moving. Because if you move, and I made this connection, if you move, then you're going to receive the feedback. So therefore, you're going to have more clarity, the clarity you wanted, the feedback, and you're going to be outside of this stuckness loop. So food for thought, or my gift to you is that, because yeah, underground, invisible, if you feel stuck, congratulations. Congratulations, because you are evolving. You are in this beautiful initiation of the next chapter of your life. That yes or yes will be even more wonderful, because it's this version of yourself, this more elevated version of yourself, this version of yourself that is so much more aware. So the things that this version create and expand, they're amazing. So congratulations if you're stuck, and I'm talking to myself also. Congratulations, Carolina. You are evolving, and you now have this beautiful opportunity of taking your surrender to a whole new level. And you are in this beautiful path of getting in touch with your intuition more and more. And this aligned action will feel easier. It's like taking heavier weights, because now the challenge is bigger, but you are way stronger. So yes. And yeah, I do feel like that. I do feel like that right now. I needed that reminder. And then I said, like, this whole conversation with Craig started because I confessed, you know what, like, I ordered this amount of dollars on Amazon because I will start this side business. And he was like, oh, okay. And then we laughed about it, and I said, you know how stupid things always create more? Everything always creates more. Because, I mean, I did that, and because of that, because I confessed that, this whole conversation started. And now I have this information because I was outside with him, and I said, this is happening for me, and I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna be able to help more, guide in a beautiful way, beautiful aligned way, because of this, because I'm experiencing this. And yeah, to go back to this, okay, tangents, and go back again to the tree analogy. Craig shared this with me, and well, because he was leaving, and I was like, you know what, like, you told me something about trees, about the trees that we planted. You needed them to grow their roots because winter was coming. So what did you say exactly? And by this moment, I mean, he already left, but I called him, and I was like, okay. He said, call me, and I will tell you. So I was like, okay, what did you say? Because this is so perfect for my episode, for what I want to share, what I'm here to share. So he said this: strong foundational root system. Strong foundational root system to support harsh winters and hot summers. So if I was not talking about a tree, we as human beings, we also require a strong foundational root system, like this invisible underground net that no one can see, because no one is supposed to see. Like, this is our inner world, that world that you cannot see with your physical eyes, that those pearls, that light that you cannot post on social media, that you cannot have a picture of. Strong foundational root system, that all the things that I evolved, my root system is now strong, and it's foundational. It's just like a strong foundation, because it was not 6 months ago, a year ago. It was not a foundation. I had anything but a foundation, and now I do have a strong foundational root system. I'm a tree, and I'm not gonna post that. I do not have the picture, but I do have the strong foundational root system to support me, to support the harsh winters and the hot summers. Like, now I have that, and I know I have that because I was feeling the way I was feeling today, and I knew that I was feeling that way. I knew that the speech that I was listening was not 100% true. When I share it like, I feel this way. 5% of myself is thinking this. Like, and I know that on the other side, I'm laughing about this. I know this is a lesson, and that I didn't have. I didn't have that. In the past, I would have created a problem out of that, or I would have believed what I was thinking, and then I would have destroyed unconsciously something or my whole entire life because I felt that way. And now, oh my gosh, like, this is awareness. This is the shit. It's not about being perfect, or I'm in this spiritual world, so I'm not gonna experience discomfort ever again. No. Now I have the tools. I have the tools to breathe deeply, to take the lesson, to expand my whole entire universe through that. And that is a victory. And Craig also shared deep, wide roots can help to receive more water. So whenever I go deeper, whenever I expand in this wide motion, I can also receive more of all the things that nourish my mind, body, and soul. So, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And the last thing he shared is, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, this guy is also woo, and I love him so very much. It's always the same temperature on the ground. And then he said, well, look it up. And I found that, yes, oh my gosh, I have it on my phone, and my phone is over there because I was trying to read it for this episode, and I was like, oh, where's my phone? And because the one that I found in my computer was different from the phone. So let's see. So I was looking for one in particular. It was so good in my phone. Well, I'm gonna read this one. Groundwater stays at the same temperature all year. What is the temperature? Well, long story short, everything's perfect. Long story short, I found one that said yes. The temperature is, or the variation is so little. Yeah, would you say that? Like, the variation is almost nothing. That, yeah, you can say that the temperature is the same all year long, or whatever you say it. Well, the point is here, yeah, the temperature stays the same, always the same temperature on the ground. And then I made made the connection when I was blowing my hair. Like, oh my gosh, this internal inner world, this strong foundational system stays at the same temperature all year long because this is our foundation. Internally, if we internally stay, or if we leave, the word, I like it more. If we live in our center, if this same temperature is equivalent to us being aware, if we stay in this awareness all year long, oh my gosh, like, wow. Again, once again, Mother Nature giving us, reminding us of the wisdom, how to hack the code. It's supposed to be that way, always the same temperature underground, in every moment aware. This stability of awareness, and I'm saying awareness, not perfection. Aware of, I'm here, I'm creating this, and I'm here, I feel this way, this is the way it's working, this is aligned, this is not aligned, oh my gosh, but aware without any judgment, just aware that everything is working for you, that every season has a purpose and unique gifts. And no wonder then I was realizing, is that the way you say it? Then it was just like being aware. It's fall. Like right now in Houston, Texas, it's fall. And all my life, well, I'm being dramatic again, like a few things in my life are falling because it's this time of remodeling my house. And the last analogy that comes, I was sharing with Cray, let's say that my business is a house. It's a house, and I feel like, oh my gosh, I want to eat, but the kitchen is not ready. So I'm like so confused, like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat outside, I'm gonna do something else, but I feel this pressure of I need my kitchen ready. And he said, well, create your kitchen. Like, you're the one that designs a house, and you're the one that's not designing it. And I was not designing it because, again, I was not surrendering, meaning I was not trusting, no sugar-coated, I was not trusting. And second, I was like, okay, if I do not have the date of this kitchen being ready, I'm not gonna do anything. So I was not there designing the kitchen. And that doesn't mean that I will take the wood and build it myself. That means that I will give the cue, I will set the destination, because we have free will, and that's how manifestation works. Duh, Carolina, I've been teaching these for years. Like, we just have to say, this is my destination, as a GPS. The same thing we do with a GPS. The GPS knows where we're at. We just have to decide where I'm going, and the universe, GPS, creates the path. That's why the how is not your problem. So I was not defining, okay, this is the kitchen I desire, this is the design. I was not doing that. I was just confused, and oh my gosh, no wonder why I was stuck. So I'm living this, and Craig told me you should take, and there's also my friend, the writer, I said, well, you know what, like, I feel stuck, and I have a program that is called UNSTUCK. Like, oh my gosh. And that's why she said, we're always challenged in our zone of genius. So Craig also said, you should take your UNSTUCK program. You should take it, because maybe you created it for this moment. Maybe you created it for you because one day you'll need it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I should take UNSTUCK. So if you feel like it, if you feel that UNSTUCK will continue the movement that we already created through this episode, I'm gonna link UNSTUCK in the show notes. It's YouTube, it's for free, completely free. So you have no excuse to take UNSTUCK. And I mean, that's it for now. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your contribution. I'm recording this episode, and in real time, let's say, what's real to begin with, but whatever, in real time, you're not here with me physically, but I do feel your energy, and I know that you are here with me. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from my soul for being you, for choosing to be here. And I will catch you in the next episode. Mwah. It felt good. And here you have the one that was thinking about quitting coaching. Alexa, stop.